I made you worry about what she me shoot. It's good to do what people see me do. We been saucing on them too hard. I got these people trying to copy the crew. Tipping this flavor I'm walking through.
What's going on, Meta Gang? It's Red, and today I have a profile update for you guys for my pure Shaddolls. So, starting off with the main deck, we have 3 Re-Shaddoll Windy. So whenever Re-Shaddoll Windy is flip summoned, you can special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck face up or face down. Or if it is sent from wherever, your hand, deck, or graveyard, your hand, deck, or field to the graveyard by a card effect, it can also do the same thing as the flip effect. Special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck face up or face down. 3 Shaddoll Beast. So whenever Shaddoll Beast is flip summoned, you can draw 2 cards and discard 1. But whenever Beast is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can draw a card. So what card I pair up with Windy pretty often is Hedgehog, so I run 3 of it. Whenever Hedgehog is flip summoned, you can add a Shaddoll spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, or if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand. I play 2 Shaddoll Aerial. Whenever it is flip summoned, you can target a banish Shaddoll monster and special summon it in defense. If it is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target 5 cards in both of your graveyard or your opponent's graveyard, or you can pick 5 cards in total out of both, and you can banish them. I play 2 Squamata just so that way it can mainly act as a foolish burial for any Shaddoll card whenever it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, and if Squamata were to be flipped face up, I can target a monster on the field and destroy it. I play 2 Dragon. Whenever Dragon is flipped, you can target a monster on your opponent's side of the field. Oh no, I lied, it's 1 card on your opponent's side of the field, and you can return it to hand. And then if it is sent to graveyard, you can destroy a spell or trap on your opponent's side. For the 1-ofs and the Shaddolls, for the engine there, I play 1 Shaddoll Hound just so that way whenever I can send it off to the graveyard for a fusion, it'll proc being able to flip my Shaddoll monster face up in attack mode, and then my flip effect would then trigger. And 1 Falco, just because if it's sent, it'll come back, but if it gets flip summoned, I can target 1 to special summon, face down. Nice little engine I've been working on, tinkering around with ratio-wise, is Predaplant, so I play 2 Scorpio and 1 Cobra. Whenever Scorpio is normal summoned, you can send a monster from your hand to graveyard, and then special summon another Predaplant monster except Scorpio. So you would typically special summon out the Cobra, and whenever Cobra is special summoned, you can add a Polymerization or 1 fusion spell card from your deck to your hand, which typically you would search out your Shaddoll fusion or your El Shaddoll fusion. 1 Mathematician just to get a play start going. Another engine I've been tinkering around with in here, which I feel like I'm going to take out, honestly, is going to be Perform Mages. So I play 1 Hat Tricker and 1 Spitfire. My main reason for using these isn't for any effects, so I don't really care to remember them, but they're in there for the element manipulation. I play 1 Trick Clown just so that way whenever I use it for the fusion summon of Construct, or if I use it as a link material, it'll come back to the field as a 0/0, and then I lose 1,000, I believe, from that. And then to finish off the monsters, I play 2 Damage Jugglers. Just being able to send it to graveyard and stop any damage, the next amount of damage you would take, is phenomenal. For spells, I play 3 Super Poly. Come on guys, it's Super Polymerization in the fusion deck. Who doesn't want to discard a card and fuse using your monster and your opponent's? Continuing on in the spells, 3 Shaddoll Fusion. If your opponent would have a extra deck monster on the field when you activate this card, you can also fusion summon using your hand and deck. 1 El Shaddoll Fusion. Just being able to fusion summon on your opponent's turn, since it is a quick play, and you can fuse from your field or hand. I play one Neff Shaddoll fusion just to give me that extra fusion card, and to also give attribute manipulation, so that way I can touch any of my fusion monsters when I go to fuse. One refusion just to bring back one of my fusion monsters in graveyard, like Construct or Winda, whatever. Pot of Avarice, you burn through your materials really quick in this deck. I feel like bumping this up to 2 would be a better ratio for it, and you can just ignore like the other perform mages except for like damage jugglers and trick clown. Those two can just go out of the deck, I guess. And then one foolish for another potential play starter extender type deal. For the traps, I play 2 Shaddoll fusion. Being able to special summon a Shaddoll monster from the graveyard face up or face down defense. Good way to save your hind end by either grabbing your construct if your opponent doesn't really have a way to stop the effective construct to get over it, or bringing out your Winda if you know your opponent can't really do anything else after like a combo type deal control bullshit. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard with another Shaddoll card and apply one of these effects except the turn that you activated this. So you can change one of your face down defense monsters to face up defense, and if it typically it would get its flip effect, so that's why you would run this at 2. Or you can change the face up one to face down. Nobody really cares for that one. And then rounding off the deck, I play the one Necrofusion, just so if I happen to not open up with Aerial, but I can search out Aerial on my intern in some way, or if I happen to get it somewhere along the line in the combo, I can actually set up and have her flip effect be primed and ready. For the monsters, I play 3 Shaddoll Construct. So whenever you summon Construct, you can send a Shaddoll card from your deck to your graveyard. If this card battles a special summon monster, that monster is instantly destroyed, no damage calculation, no nothing. Continuing on, I play 3 Winda. Winda being able to give you total field control for given that only each player can special summon once. And this card cannot be targeted by card effects, like targeted for destruction of card effects, correct? Yeah, it cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effect. So that's pretty cool. That has its own like effect protection. One of the water fusion, I can never pronounce that, dude. But it pretty much blocks your opponent out from special summoning from their hand or graveyard using spell or trap effects. One Shiganaga to stop a monster effect activation, I believe. That one's the one. Yeah, when a special summon monster activates their effect, so effect negation. A summon negation with Shaddoll Gristia. A protection of your Shaddoll monsters with Wendigo. And then this card's pretty unique. So whenever it's summoned by using 2 Shaddoll monsters with different elements, it can target a card on the field and negate it, and then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Shaddoll card from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. For the links, I play 1 Cross Sheep. You're playing a fusion deck, so with this being able to have a fusion monster pointed to it, you will, well, when a fusion monster special summon to zone of points to, my bad, you will be able to special summon a level 4 ogre monster from your graveyard to your side of the field in defense mode. 1 IP Masquerena, because you're gonna link up into a bigger body, so yeah, you're also going to want to give it protection on against your opponent's card effects. The 1 Shaddoll Construct. Construct can also be Verte Anaconda if you guys can. This is more of a budget build, honestly. And yeah, the perform ages, again, budget. So if you guys do run the Vert Anaconda, you can just splash Dragoon in here in place of the third window. And then finishing off the Link monsters in the extra deck, this is going to be the monster that you're going to use IP to go into, and that is going to be Appaloosa. If there's one thing that Shaddolls really hate the most, it's monster effects activating. So if you can Link 4 by using one of your fusions and return your Shaddoll fusion back while you have a monster negator on field that has 4 materials on it, that's going to be pretty brutal to get around. And that's it for the Shaddoll deck profile, guys.
Like and subscribe to Metagame. Hit the bell icon.
Flavor it in.